Ma'am, why don't you come on up here and I'll swear you in when we're ready to start here. We're on the record. We have two cases here, 13 CV 5829 and 13 CV 5830. Bostic versus, is it Whitaker or Whitaker?
Whitaker.
Whitaker. Please have a seat. And then Bostic versus Kent. We have here Ms. Bostic, and then we have Mr. Whitaker and
Yes,
Ms. Kent. And we've had some discussion prior to going on the record. I explained to the parties the remedy of a civil protection order and when it can be issued. Apparently, this matter concerns custody of Ms. Bostic's children. There are pending proceedings in domestic relations court in which Ms. Kent and Mr. Whitaker apparently obtained temporary custody of some of the children. There's an upcoming hearing on July 23, 2013 concerning custody of the children. Ms. Kent has apparently in the past acted as an advocate and has had a long history of relationship with Ms. Bostic and her children. And as I said, there's an upcoming hearing about custody of some of the children. So that's kind of the background. I've explained to Ms. Bostic that generally where one court is conducting proceedings in a case, another court will be reluctant to be involved because the second court would not want to interfere with the first court. The risk of any potential civil protection order in this matter would be that it would interfere with the proceedings that are ongoing in the domestic relations court. And then secondly, the types of allegations included in the petition do not indicate any threats of violence, the type of conduct that could warrant issuance of a civil protection order. So with all that, we're going to proceed. Ms. Bostic wants to proceed and she wants to call witnesses. Ma'am, you are?
Amanda Hilling.
Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you swear testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you give me the spelling of your name? Amanda, and then
Hilling.
Ms. Bostic, do you have questions for the witness?
No.
Well, she's your witness. You called her.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to ask her. I mean, you ask. I mean, I don't know. This ain't something I do every day.
Well,
Amanda, do you feel like they're stalking me?
I do.
Why?
Well, because after the court dates and you had got custody of your kids back, they was okay with that because they said that they would drop the charges if you and your dad agreed for you to live at our house. We're not going to agree to that. You're staying there until this is all over. But after that court date, Mr. Whitaker and Ms. Kent have sent emails to my rental office trying very hard to get us evicted. However, the rental office already knew that the children would be there.
can I see the email you were from?
Uh-huh.
Okay, this email reads, "We are interested parties, so we feel we have a right to express our concern. A couple appear to have moved in, a mother and 4 young children, including a baby. We consider it a safety and fire hazard for 7 people to be living in a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, especially if the apartment management is unaware. I look forward to your response." Or if that's what the email says. One second. And you said our place. Who? I'm not sure who you are. You said
I
who's
am
us?
Marcisa's father's girlfriend. And me and him, we...
Wait just a second. Okay. Marcisa's father's girlfriend. All right. Go ahead.
And after that email was sent, then the office didn't reply to her quick enough. Then they went ahead and called the apartment complex. And this was all taking place after the girls was able to go back home with Marcisa.
Now, what does this tell you, or what does this indicate to you?
That they're trying to get us put out. Because if the apartment manager don't know that people are staying there, then that's just like grounds for eviction.
But what would be improper about that?
Everything. I mean, that's not their place to worry about where I live and what's going on in my house. They went out of their way to do that.
And this is this what you consider stalking?
Yes.
It's not stalking, but go ahead.
Okay. But then they also had called the rental office about basically the same thing.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Anything else? Other questions you have?
No.
Thank you very much. Additional witnesses?
My dad,
All right.
Marcisa Bostic.
Sir, if you come on up, I'll swear you in. Come on up around here, yes. Raise your right hand. You swear testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, Ms. Bostic, do you have questions for this witness? Oh, let me get your name first.
Marcus, M-A-R-C-U-S. Bostic, B-O-S-T-I-C.
Ms. Bostic, do you have questions for the witness?
Do you have any proof that these people are stalking me, basically? And how would you prove that they're stalking me, or, yeah.
Well, when Judge Jameson granted custody of my grandchildren, Marcisa Bostic and Mariah Bostic, to Marcisa, my daughter, as long as Marcisa lived in my residence, from that time on, someone identifying themselves as Miss Kent called my rental office, said that there were, said that we had moved, my girlfriend and I had moved in an adult and 4 children, which was against state regulations. And just in case the rental office didn't know, they were a concerned citizen saying that they were supposed to do that. Also sent an email to the office stating the same thing. When my girlfriend Amanda, she brought in the email and the copy of the letter stating that. They are, well, after the officer who came out to investigate the allegations that was made by the Kent Whitakers, Detective Gantt, he was the one who recommended that we get a restraining order against them because, in his own words, these people are just scary, they're creepy. Detective Gantt was subpoenaed here today, but because of an ongoing suit that the Kent Whitakers have filed against him in federal court over this case, he said that the city prosecutor wouldn't let him testify here today. but I have his name and number if that would do any good. But it was him who said that he would get a restraining order against them. Various people from Franklin County Children's Services have recommended that, I strongly urge that we get a restraining order against them because their obsession with my grandchildren and their relentless pursuit to get my grandchildren. I myself am going to get a protection order and whatever other means I can get, because in a newscast that the Kents had put on TV about the federal suit filed against Detective Gantt, Miss Kent said that she was attempting to rescue these girls. Judging from their past action, and when you use the word rescue, I really don't know what is beyond these people to do. They might kick in my door trying to rescue my grandchildren.
Anything else?
I know that my daughter is really afraid to go outside because she thinks that the kids are videotaping them. They videotape, they record all phone calls. That's about all I have now.
Any other questions? All right, make that down, thank you. Any additional witnesses?
Ruth Fannon.
What's her name?
Ruth Fannon.
Are we- Morning, and I'll swear you in when you get up here. Can you give me the spelling of your name, please?
Ruth Fannon, Fannin.
Fannin. Thank you. Come on around, I'll swear you in. Come on around up the ramp. And raise your right hand. You swear testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Ms. Bostic, do you have questions?
Ms. Ruth, what do you know about this situation?
I'm sorry.
What do you know about the situation between Bernadine Kent and Mr. Whitaker?
Very little. I had never seen him until today. Didn't know what the names were. The only thing I knew was what you told me, that over a conversation, you lost your children. And then when you got them back, then's when all the problems started.
What's been happening at your house? Do you feel like they're caused you a problem or stalking you, or
I've been getting a lot of
stalking
aggravating.
me, or what do you know that they have done that's caused problems?
My phone rings a lot. Then when I answer my phone, sometimes there's a phone number there, but then there's not, and then will anybody answer?
Or do you have one of the numbers that called your house? Do you happen to have one of those numbers?
Yes, I found out yesterday that one of them is not pertained to anything else. I know who it belonged to, so I talked to this person. but a couple of the other numbers, they won't answer the phone.
Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Brown. Any additional witnesses?
Thank you, sir.
No.
Anything else that you want to present in support of your request for a civil protection order?
No.
All right, as I've indicated, the remedy of a civil protection order is available when there's proof of violence or threats of violence that make one person in fear for their public safety, in fear for their personal safety. That's what a civil protection order is and when it can be issued. What we have here is a dispute about custody of children that's already before the domestic court. Any issues about custody of the children can be addressed by the domestic relations court. The type of conduct of the defendants that has been alleged and been described by the witnesses, Ms. Hilling, Mr. Bostic, and Ms. Fannon, emails to a landlord about people moving into the apartment, calls to the rental office, those types of things are not stalking. They're not threats of violence. They're not violent acts. They're just phone calls conveying information. And that this is not, this remedy is not the appropriate remedy, and the court that will address any issues about custody of the children is the domestic relations court.
I forgot something that Ruth Fannon knows about them. Ruth Fannon has heard that Bernadine Kent, after I put the stalking order in, has been walking around my apartment complex and asking people questions. I don't know what kind of questions or what, but that's something else that she could have told you.
Okay.
But,
Well, see, I know you don't seem to be hearing me. What I'm telling you
okay,
is,
that's fine. Yeah, I was just saying.
if you had evidence that they had threatened to kill you, or they had chased you with a knife, or something like that, that's when a civil protection order can be issued. It's about threats of violence and personal safety from violence. That's what a restraining order is about. It's not about, I don't like what these people are doing. I don't like them messing in my business. I want them to leave me alone. That's not a restraining order. I'm trying to explain to you what the law is about that, okay? Yeah. So that's why I keep saying you're in the wrong, this is the wrong remedy.
Okay.
The fact that they call the apartment complex and say people moved in an apartment, that's not anywhere close to stalking, just under the law. I'm just trying to tell you what the law is. I don't have the ability to change the law, okay? And even if they, I don't know whether they were telling the truth or not, but even if they weren't, that may be an inconvenient thing to you. That may be something you don't like. That may be something that causes difficulty in your life, but it's not stalking, okay? So that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay. So stalking is not walking around my apartment complex asking people questions about me?
No.
Stalking is not, that's not stalking?
That's right.
What is it?
Under the law.
What is that?
If they were
What is
walking
it called
around.
so that I can,
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you. If they were walking around saying, we're looking for her, we're going to kill her, that would be stalking. Stalking is conduct that threatens violence, not walking around saying, do you know who's living there? I mean, that may be pesky, it may be annoying, but it's not
Creepy.
threatening violence.
That's just creepy.
Well, it may be creepy,
It's scary. It's like, why are you,
but
she's trying to steal my children and like for
that,
nothing.
as
She's
I've told you,
obsessed.
that remedy, that issue is in the domestic relations court. Okay, the issue, all the issues about custody are in the domestic relations court. All right, so that's why I keep saying you're in the wrong place and you're seeking the wrong remedy, okay, under the law. All right? Any other questions?
No.
Thank you very much.
You're free to go, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.